Well, the baby boomer generation has faced many challenges when it comes to saving for retirement. One of them is their expenses.
Here with more this morning is Jim Heafner. He's the president of Heafner Financial and is known as Carolina's retirement coach. Jim joins us every Wednesday to help us get financially fit. Jim, good morning. Great to see you as always.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Jim, with baby boomers, they are approaching retirement. One of their biggest expenses is going to be hidden credit cards. Those things are very, very dangerous. Those interest rates are very dangerous. So talk to us about credit cards and how that relates to what the baby boomers will be experiencing.
Well, you know, we've seen the Fed raise interest rates twice this year.
Yes.
And we see another one coming this year. So far, it hadn't made much difference. Didn't change things very much. I think the next one will. You know, the Fed can't force rates up. They can just put pressure on rates to go up. And sooner or later, probably the next one will make credit card rates go up. And also CDs and mortgages and everything else as well. So it's so important that we prepare for that.
What can we do to prepare for that? What are we supposed to be doing?
Well, I think one thing you want to do is to not lock in to long-term low interest rates. Right, so I wouldn't go out and buy a CD that's 2% because we'll see them paying more than that soon. I wouldn't be buying long-term bonds because as rates rise, what happens to long-term bonds? They fall in value. So you don't want to set yourself up for failure, right? So we want to look at our mortgages. Oh, my goodness, I mean, when rates change, if you have a variable rate mortgage, you could be looking at much higher rates in the future, just like your credit cards. Not as high, of course. Credit cards are bizarre.
Because this is variable rates. When the Feds they move the interest rate up, that means your interest rate moves up on whatever you have.
Yes, exactly. You're locked into some. You're tied to some LIBOR or some basic interest rate that will rise as other rates rise. So if you have a variable rate, I say lock it in now because rates are very low. If you have a credit card debt, maybe you pay it off or refinance it with something that's a fixed rate. If you have a home equity line of credit, I love home equity lines of credit. They're a great source to pull from, tax deductible when you need it, but they're most always variable. Again, tied to LIBOR or some interest rate gauge. As rates go up, you'll be paying more. So why not lock that in now? You know, we've seen for the past 40 years a declining interest rate pattern. Our viewers might remember back in the early 80s when CDs paid 15%. Well, now they pay 2%. So we've been through that 40-year declining rate, and now we're about to see things start taking off the other way, going back up. So you have to be very careful about where your debt is. Is it fixed, secure, or is it long term?
So is it fair to say that taxes are going to be one of the biggest expenses that baby boomers face? And if that is so, then how can we minimize our tax liability?
Well, clearly taxes are a huge concern for most people, and it is probably the biggest expense for most people. So one is, I would say, you want to work with a financial planner or a CPA who really understands taxes. And I got to tell you, most of both categories don't deal in that realm. CPAs do taxes. They typically aren't contracted or negotiated or paid to do tax planning, not their specialty. So you want to find someone who really gets taxes. And for most people, what their tax plan is, if any, is just tax defer, meaning postpone, postpone, postpone. That means using IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, these pre-tax accounts that just postpone the tax. You want to have an exit strategy. How do you get out of that situation? Because if you just wake up one day and you're old and you're paying a lot of, well, that's already happened to me, but I mean, you don't want to wake up and find you're taking income out and paying huge taxes, especially if tax rates rise. So get some help with an exit strategy. Look at how can you convert from pre-tax to tax-free. How can you convert from taxable, brokerage accounts, bank accounts, into tax-free growth accounts. And again, you can do it by yourself, but if you have a good planner, you can get timing on your side and tax offsets, hopefully on your side, to minimize the taxes that you pay.
Well, Jim and his team can help you for sure. If you need help planning for retirement, you need a trusted financial professional like Jim to help you. Call Heafner Financial. The first 5 qualified callers will receive a free copy of Jim's book, Retire Abundantly. The number is 704 404-552-1230. You must have a minimum of $500,000 in investable assets to qualify for this offer. Again, the number to call, 704-552-1230.
Okay, you can also visit Jim's website if you just know. It's called you'ljustknow.com. You'ljustknow.com. Thank you very, very much. All right.